Hi, I'm Mo Wolf. Wanted to share with you some Qigong exercises, but before we can get into the actual exercises, I need to show you the warm-up exercises. Qigong means energy work, and anytime you're going to be doing anything physical, any physical work, before you can jump in there with both feet, you got to do some warm-up exercises. Now, because we're going to be working on shoulders, low back, sacroiliac joint type area, knees, hips, we want to start taking these joints that we're going to be working through a full range of motion even before we start doing it under load of exercise. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to relax our bodies a little bit, start focusing on breathing into our dantian. Dantian is that space. If you take and make a fist, and you put the top of your thumb right on your belly button, the dantian is right here underneath that hand, down inside the body. It's your center of qi in Oriental medicine or in martial arts. In Western thought, it'd be your center of gravity. So you're going to start breathing down into your dantian. Next, what I want you to do is put your hands on your hips while you're breathing in. And I want you to slowly start circling that dantian. My teacher taught me that at this point what you want to do is imagine your body as a teacup, and you're swirling the tea in that cup without spilling it. You're getting that tea, you're swirling that tea up in that cup as high as you can, just enough so that it doesn't go over the edge. And what you're doing is you are starting to tell all of the little muscle fibers around your vertebrae that may not have been getting they may not have been functional for years in some cases. Well, you're finally telling them to wake up and do something. Okay, now we're going to reverse. Come to center. Next, I want you to take your arms and I want you to start swinging them. Gently taking them through full range of motion. Rotating them backwards, rotate them forwards. And what I want you to do is just gradually just like you were a martial artist before a tournament. Start pounding the kidney and your chest a little bit. And again, what we're doing is we're taking those muscles that are around these joints, and in some cases, like these little erector muscles back here that are real tight around the spinous process and the transverse processes and little facets of the spine. And we're starting to take these little muscles who have become disconnected from the brain, and we're starting to get them to say, hey, wake up. And in time, we can, through doing these exercises, we can start to recover some function of these muscles. We can start to recover that function because we're increasing the communication. We're sometimes creating new communicative lines between those muscles and the brain. The beautiful thing about the central nervous system and even the peripheral nervous system to a certain extent is it's not the rigid read-only system that we thought it was at one point. In fact, it is, they now have found, and they're describing the brain as being a very plastic organ. In other words, it can repair itself. What a beautiful thing. Behold, thou art fearfully and wonderfully made. So, we've done some exercises. We've taken our knees and we've moved them through a range of motion. We've, done a little bit of this. We've moved our shoulders. We've spun our bodies a little bit. We've worked those hip muscles, which in turn works the SI joint. Next, we're going to discuss the 4 corrections of Qigong. The 4 corrections are basically body position, breathing, focusing of the mind, and relaxing. Those 4 things. Body position is this. Body position, you want to imagine drawing a line from the apex of this ear all the way over the head to the apex of this ear. Now, where that line intersects, a line starting right here between your eyes, going up over the head to the back of the neck, where that line intersects, that is actually an acupuncture point called Du 20. Very important point in Chinese medicine. What you want to imagine is somebody's got a string going down, threaded down through Du 20 from the top of your head, all the way down through magnum foramen, down through the spinal cord, right down, and it's knotted right down there at the coccyx of the vertebrae. And what happens is when you bend your knees a little bit, someone's going to pull that string, and your chin is going to tuck a little bit, your pelvis is going to tip forward just a little bit, and your spine is going to straighten out. And this is the proper Qigong position. Your body is stacked. Your body is stacked to minimize the amount of muscle that's needed in order to keep things going. And that is Qigong proper position. When you're in proper position, one of the things that you need to try to imagine is that spot at the bottom of your foot. Kidney 1 is the acupoint, but it's that spot just below the ball of your foot and in towards the middle, right where there's that depression. You're going to want to imagine that grabbing hooks coming out of the bottom of your feet and grabbing into the ground at that point. That's what you're going to try to imagine in your mind's eye. As you do that, you get in your proper Qigong position. One of the things that always happens for me is on my inhale, my arms feel like they want to float up. On my exhale, my arms want to go down. That means I'm in good Qigong position. So we've warmed up, we've discussed the 4 corrections of Qigong. What are they? Proper position, proper breathing, focusing the mind, and relaxing. Next video we're going to talk about an exercise to do for stimulating some energy within the body.